Welcome back to the Tu-Vie podcast, your TV movie entertainment needs podcast. I am your host, James, and as always, is sitting with me is Colin. How you doing, bud?
What's up? How you doing, guys?
Good, good. And sitting with us again is Cameron, who's
The voices.
tripping on 6 tabs of acid.
The voices.
Again, Cameron, back here. Focus here. Cameron, focus here. It's okay. Snap back. Okay, you're good. You're fine. It was much shorter this time.
That
Okay.
was riveting.
Good. Yeah.
Jesus.
What a way to kick it off.
Yeah.
An
Don't know where
acid
I
trip
That was good.
and a fantastic. I think it's the smoothest intro we've had in a long time, at least. So there's that.
Sure.
So today we are going on our filmography of writers, kicking it off with Edgar Wright's filmography. I think we are all pretty big fans here. I know one of us hates him the most out of the three of us, and that's Colin. Colin has publicly said that he hates Edgar Wright movies.
Yeah, despises him.
He genuinely
Finds
just
him
doesn't like him.
repulsive and abhorrent.
He compares it to The Flash.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like that one's low. I'm sorry.
My career is over.
I think that was a low blow.
It's over before it even started.
I disagree.
on
I
the
think this
internet.
is where the heat starts rising.
This is where it lives.
This is where it lives and dies. So yeah, we're talking about Edgar Wright's filmography, and I was very shocked on going back and seeing all these different ones, how many he actually has directed to how many he actually has written. And I was very unaware of a lot of movies that he was a part of. So I say we jump into it. Favorite Edgar Wright movie? Go.
Hot Fuzz.
I figured that is a callback, actually, if you go watch an episode coming out very soon. I mean, hopefully very soon, once the strikes are over, that episode will be released. So keep an eye out for that. So Hot Fuzz, Colin,
Good movie.
great movie.
Good movie. The Flash.
Go, Edgar Wright movie.
The World's End. Obviously, yeah. No, I love The World's
Really?
End. I think it's underappreciated. I really do think it's underappreciated.
Okay, all right. And my favorite, I just because I love music and I just think it's fantastic, is Baby Driver.
Okay.
Great movie. I think though we all have like a very, I'd say hard time picking. I know Cameron's is Hot Fuzz, but Scott Pilgrim really set like a standard for how like movies like that should be, like entertaining and fun and visual,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Scott Pilgrim, would you say is like it's not his magnum opus?
No. I'd
It's
say it's
definitely
really
it's his
solid.
Mount Everest. That's one of the heads from his Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so it's
definitely
like
shook. I'm sorry. Continue.
oh go oh
No. I
Oh.
cut off Cameron completely. He was talking.
No,
welcome to Tubi.
just
All right. Sorry about that.
Go on.
I was just gonna say that,
Um,
like,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm an
No, I didn't
Cameron,
have anything to say really.
go.
I didn't have
Go.
anything to say really. You're
Stop.
good.
just
Stop.
go,
Stop.
someone. It's I can't do all the
Fine.
talking.
All I'm gonna say is this: is that like Scott Pilgrim literally shook, like it became a cult classic to the point where it's no longer even cult classic. Like everybody's mom, like every e-girl, every single person, they love Scott Pilgrim, and it for all the right reasons, because of it has it has witty dialogue, great writing, great direction, great like video games slash like fighting. And literally you have like Michael Cera playing the dorkiest, dumbest, like idiot in the world who happens to get all these girls.
You mean Alan? He just plays Alan.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. I think we
Oh,
just
no.
lost Colin.
It's frozen.
Okay.
And I didn't
Can I-
know what.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. You were gone for a second, Colin. What happened?
I entered the Speed Force.
I
Long story short, it just shook everybody's world. No one was expecting it, but the world's a better place because of it. And Cameron, I am so sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good. I didn't even really have that much to say, honestly. I do think it's
Good
interesting
movie.
considering Scott Pilgrim like flopped at the box office.
no.
Did.
Did it?
It was
Yeah, it
only
did.
until like it hit Netflix that it became like a cult. Like after it came out like on digital, it was like a cult hit, and then once it came out on Netflix, it became a hit.
Wow, it did. So the budget was 60 million. I think that's not his most expensive movie, is it?
No, I'm pretty
Was it
sure it's Baby Driver.
Baby Driver? Because that was a lot of practical stunt work and
At the
everything.
time, it was his most expensive.
Yeah, yeah. I just didn't know if it was overall. So yeah, gross US and Canada was around 33.2 million. Opening weekend was 10.6 million, and overall gross was 49.4 million. So yeah, it was definitely a flop, which is sad because that movie is truly fantastic. I think that I mean it is a definite comfort movie for me. I rewatch. I don't know how many times I've seen that movie, but it gets better every time. And I think the Brie Larson song is
So
truly
good.
stupid good. I would go watch The Clash at Demon Head at live. I think I would. Also, Brie Larson's not that bad of a singer. She did her own music for a while too. I don't know if you guys know that.
No,
Yeah.
she's a great singer. She's a great
Great
singer.
singer. I think the hate for her is a little, over the top. I mean, you can dislike a movie, but
Yeah.
After a quick
I don't get it.
Google, it seems that Last Night in Soho actually has his biggest budget.
Last night, really? How much?
Yeah, 43 mil.
How much was Baby Driver then?
34.
No
Which is
Really?
shot.
Considering how many people were in that movie.
But also just the overall like stunt work. Like,
I think all those other people, they didn't mind to get like
Yeah, I
slightly
think they just wanted to
underpaid.
work with
Yeah.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah,
that's fair. Same reason with Wes Anderson.
Yeah, a
Same
lot
with
of people.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
Really?
any revered director, people will take a pay cut to work with you.
That is true. Yeah, Florence Pugh was when Christopher Nolan was going back over the footage, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, there was a lot of stuff that was cut." She's like, "Dude, that could have been like a fly in the background. I would have been totally fine." Like that's humble, and I like that. But yeah, favorite movies. We all kind of just agree that it's like Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim. Pretty much all his work is great. I know that Last Night in Soho is a bit. I don't want to say controversial because not a lot of people liked it. I didn't hear a lot of as much positive
It's
reviews
not
as I
like
did negative.
bad. It's just like not his best. He's just done better things.
And that happens. I get that. But I bet it looks, I mean, like you said, the dance transition we were talking about on the other
It's so
episode.
cool.
I bet it looks great. And it looked like a great movie. I just never got around to watching it.
You'd like it. You'd like it.
Yeah, I probably would. I do like the cast. The cast is
It's
fantastic.
it's on Max.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely get that a look. But with I hope I'm saying this right. Thomasin McKenzie. She was the girl in
Thomasin
Jojo
McKenzie.
Rabbit. That was it?
Yeah. Thomasin.
Thomasin, thank you. Thomasin McKenzie's fantastic. She was great in Jojo Rabbit. Anya Taylor-Joy, as always, is great. Matt Smith, who was absolutely stupid good in Morbius. I think that dance scene when he's getting dressed is the best shot in cinema history.
Yeah, this is my last episode.
Yeah, I got a
That's
thing
it.
I gotta go to.
You gotta go. You gotta go now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
I just.
James, I
okay.
drink because of you.
And then Diana Rigg. Okay. Thanks, man. Yeah. No. That's I didn't think it was gonna be that bad, but all right. I'll refrain from Morbius jokes from now on. All right.
James, you know somebody in your life, I won't say who, that likes Morbius and thinks it's a great psychological thriller.
No. Science. She liked it because of the science.
Sorry. What?
I'm not gonna say who it was, but there was someone I know that didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder and liked Morbius more.
You both are great to be with.
I
You
was not
balance
happy
each
that day.
other out. You're a yin and yang.
I think I actually told you this. I think I told you this when we were on a shift, Cameron. Maybe it was someone else, but I remember telling someone this. Maybe it was Jake.
Wild. Man, just
Okay, moving on from that. That was a rough text to get.
a wild opinion to have.
It's wild. It's crazy.
It's a wild opinion.
I still love her. It's just it was a wild text to get. I had to put the phone down for a bit. Moving on fast from that day.
We all love her, but we're not making fun.
Yeah.
It did like actual psychic damage to me.
Two of us.
I think I felt. I was heartbroken that day.
How do you move past that?
I had like that fishbowl shot where like the camera's here and everything's like, you know,
yeah.
That's how it felt. Like the best way I can put it was the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes. Yeah, the spider
exactly
sense.
how Andrew Collins was gonna like that. So I'm just gonna go back to the filmography of everything. Director, 28 movies, 28 director credits. Out of 28, he actually has 24 writing credits, which I think is good. I think that's a really good ratio of writing to directing. A lot of them were what you would think by, and then call back to the last episode, which you guys can go check out now at Tu-Vie Podcast, youtube.com. The Adventures of Tintin. Totally forgot that. I actually didn't know then. We were talking about
craziest collab, truly, of all time.
It's great in writers. I've been meaning to actually go re-watch that since we talked about it last. And he still has a writing credit, screenplay, and story by on Ant-Man, which we also talked about.
When you watch Ant-Man, you can feel the parts of the movie that are influenced by him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like once Colin told me that it was done by Edgar Wright, I just bought the movie. So I'm like, I gotta go watch it again. And then rewatching it, you do get this I don't know, like scent of Edgar Wright. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's a
you can feel, you can sense his fingerprints on certain actions.
Yeah, it's still lingering in the air. Yeah,
like, you know, some of their like writing as well. You kind of get that sense of like, you know, joy, dopamine boost of like, you know, quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
And then I feel like during the what's his name,
Luis,
yeah, his monologues. That was very
so extremely Edgar
Wright. That no way that's not Edgar Wright.
Yeah,
and I think we even mentioned this briefly on another episode where we said that I actually think where Edgar Wright and then the Luis speeches or the rants. It's where it feels like Edgar Wright, and maybe even some of the bits where they're stealing parts and they're assembling the gear for the break-in to Hank's house with the music. That felt kind of, I don't know. To me, that kind of felt
very like quickly edited.
Yeah, it was very, I mean, shorter and very slower than an Edgar Wright one, but it was still very quickly edited. Because Edgar Wright's ones, so they're pants so fast, they get a little sick.
Yeah. I forgot to mention this on our cinema showcase, but like Ant-Man is a good movie. Like, you know, I still like it a lot.
Fun.
I do wish that, you know, I am a huge supporter of artists and creators. I do wish that Edgar Wright actually did get to show us what his Ant-Man was. You know, that's just the only disappointing part. But like Ant-Man is good regardless.
Yeah.
It's a solid film. It's a solid film. It's just, it hurts to think about what it could have been, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect way. I feel like that's the same way we feel with Spider-Man No Way Home and a lot of other ones where they show the concept art with him in like the black suit and the classic Iron Spider look. Like a lot of stuff we could have gotten. And I feel like that same thing with the whole Edgar Wright movie trope is.
I don't know why they could redesign Sandman. I know the reason why, but like I don't know why they couldn't redesign the lizard. That would have been helpful.
Why couldn't they give him a snout? Yeah. I just want the lizard to have a little snout where he can bite people.
Literally every time he's on screen, I'm waiting for him to go.
Yeah. He's British too, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, he was. Hello. And also the reuse of older scenes, whatever. We could do that all day. Quick thing though, Edgar Wright has a few acting credits in stuff I did not know were acting credits in. So he was in Sing 2 in 2021 as additional voice. Didn't know that. He was in DuckTales. He's had one episode of DuckTale. He had, maybe it's this one on camera, just found out.
The new DuckTales or like older?
No, 2019. Okay. He was in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
No, that's not it. No, okay. He's the commentator in Tour de Pharmacy. That's one of my favorite comedies. That is a great movie. If y'all have not seen that, go watch it. It's like 40 minutes.
I call myself an Edgar Wright fan, but James told me he made like 20 other things, and I'm like, I only know like the main.
Well, they were like behind the scenes stuff or like shorts or TV series. So like either like background stuff and like special editions and TV movies, stuff like that.
Music videos a lot.
Yeah. Oh, he actually also was uncredited in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as Deep Thought Technician.
Huh.
Great movie, by the way. Stupid fun. I like that.
Book was good.
The what? Oh, the book was good. I think it's a book. Yeah. No, book is real good. So, and then like I said, and then The Last Jedi, he played Resistance Trooper. So now I got to go back and watch that movie and figure out if Edgar Wright's in the crowd. He is.
He's like in the trenches.
Well, I got to go figure out where that is now. You guys know
Yeah,
about the Daniel Craig and
it's
Tom
like
Hardy
him
one?
and Gareth Edwards who
Really?
directed Rogue One. Yeah, I think it's literally the shot where the guy like it's salt.
Oh, that whole thing
Like
where
he's
he
there.
okay. Did you actually lick your
But
hand for that? That
James,
looked like a very real lick.
Yeah.
you were talking about the Tom Hardy deleted scene.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I had an opportunity to bring that up because
I know I mentioned the Daniel Craig cameo from the first movie and then the deleted Tom Hardy butt slap John Boyega.
that was great.
Don't you? It's fantastic. Do you know about this,
That
Cameron?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube, but it is so
out of all the scenes,
wild.
out of all the scenes they had that they felt like they needed to keep in, like Luke
That
drinking
didn't
blue
make the cut.
milk, that one didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
With it actually had great tension and a great payoff.
Oh,
Like, come on.
so
I
good.
love Ryan Johnson, but dude, come on.
He's like, that couldn't make the cut. Tom Hardy's slapping John Boyega's cheeks.
Oh man, Last Jedi is so good though. I like it.
God, what a movie! I love
I
it.
don't hate it as much as everyone else does.
I agree with you. I think it gets way too much. Rise of Skywalker is the only Star Wars movie where I'm like, you can have at it. I don't care about that one. But The Last Jedi, it's like, come on.
There's some nuggets. There's some
It's
nuggets
some
in there.
nuggets of greatness in there, but we're not talking about that.
We're not. We're talking about Edward.
We're talking about Edgar
Edward
Wright.
Norton. We're talking about Edgar Wright. I almost said Edward Norton. Yeah, he has two directing upcoming things coming up. It's called The Chain and The Running Man, which he's also writing. Don't know what either one of those about.
Running Man's a remake.
I don't care. I don't care. As long as he's still working, I'll watch his stuff.
I agree. And I think the effect that Baby Driver has on me, besides having this background, is that if I watch it, I can't drive for a day. Because then like
You're gonna do something dangerous.
I'm gonna break the law. Like mainly I'll sit in my car and do the whole bell bottoms opening, which I think you and I were driving home one night and I did the whole scene.
You 100% did. Yeah.
I don't know if that was you or someone else in the car, but yeah, I was just like, I
New birthday
love
present
this
to
song
get
and
you
movie.
new glasses.
Huh?
New birthday present for you is to get you those Baby Driver sunglasses and like
That'd
that
be
that like outfit attire.
That'd be nice. I've also actually since I
also
watched
made
that
it
movie in
like your face.
2017, I've been on the hunt for an iPod. Not like anything else. I've been looking for an iPod just so I can go back to the good old days when music felt right. You know?
Man. I remember as a kid, I used to watch episodes of Sesame Street on my iPod.
Oh, see,
It's like really tiny and terrible.
like the like the Tropic Thunder bit where he's watching Star Trek on the
Yeah.
iPod. Wild. I actually forgot they actually used to do that. Did you guys ever own an iPod Shuffle? Little tiny little square one? I don't know why I had to do it like that. It's the same thing.
My dad only bought me MP3s.
No. See, I never had an iPod Shuffle. I stole one from a friend of mine for a day, gave it back.
That's called borrowing.
Yeah. 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 And I don't know if you saw this TikTok.
Did you
This was
ask?
maybe a year or two ago. I don't know if you've felt old like by looking at the younger generation and seeing the differences in our products and theirs. But she's holding up an iPod Shuffle and she goes, because they have like the big clips in the back. She goes, I don't know if this was like a Bluetooth hair clip or something. And she actually like wears it as a hair clip, like a little clip thing. And I don't know if she's being funny or not, but I felt just old because I'm like, that's an iPod Shuffle. You didn't know what song was. It was this little thing you clip to your shirt and you go for a jog. But you couldn't do that much because the wires weren't long enough yet. So you'd always yank your headset out. Was it just me that felt that way? I felt like I was the one that saw that.
Did you guys have that thing? Speaking of iPod shuffles or whatever that you clip on, didn't you guys have that like Booster-thon or whatever it was called?
Booster-thon Fun Run?
Yeah, and like
Yes.
the biggest prize was those like iPod shuffles.
Yeah. Cameron, did you ever have the Booster-thon Fun Run?
No.
It was just genuinely kids running in a circle for charity or something.
I
actually don't even know what it was for.
I
think it was for the school.
Stand in the middle of the circle and just kind of like stick my leg out. Just see how many I can trip.
You would.
I
You'd
respect
actually
that.
get yelled at. Some kid tried doing that and got yelled at the teachers.
Well, I'm an adult now, so they have no power over me.
Actually, I don't think if
The
you were to do that,
law
I think
has
that's worse
power
because
over
you're an
you now.
adult and they're kids. So back to
In,
Edgar Wright.
in the words of Gandhi, actually.
Oh God.
Sorry, you're gonna have to edit this. Them kids.
Yeah, that's what Gandhi said.
Yep, that's
that
what he
one
said.
thing.
He
That
said
and Little
he
Yachty.
said that.
Man.
Do you think Gandhi ever ate his kids?
Did he have kids?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
We're gonna go back to
anyway,
Edgar Wright
Edgar
before he
Wright.
said, yeah. So just a show of hands here. How many three of us have seen Sky Pilgrim over 10 times?
More.
Probably.
At the over 10 times. What's the number you guys have then?
Um.
I watched it so much in middle school and high school.
Say
I've
that was
not
actually this. That
seen
was
it.
the movie I used to watch.
I haven't
while
seen it in a
studying.
while, but I watched it a lot and I showed it to a lot of people. Probably like around 12.
I do remember there was like one important memory I have where I was going. It was like my first date and with this chick that I really liked in high school, and it was like around Valentine's Day, and we were talking about Valentine's Day movies, and I was like, I would count Scott Pilgrim. You know, it's a great love story. You know, and we had it on in the background, and you know, we were doing a Careless Whisper, and you know, I have a greater appreciation with Scott Pilgrim because of that. You know, I watched that movie and I think to myself, I hit puberty. Like I hit puberty on this day watching this movie.
Put
Like
some
it
hair on your chest.
yeah, put hair it
Listening to Ramona.
Ramona
On my
on my
mind.
mind.
Such a great. That's a classic. I genuinely really so hope that when the animated show comes out, which is coming out soon,
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
that everything is just great and they release a full album for the Clash Head Demon Head like they did for Spinal Tap.
That'd be sick.
I would love for the next Spinal Tap movie fictional band to become real band to be Clash Head Demon Head. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Be
Scott
pretty
Pilgrim
cool.
had
Even
like
Sex
such an
Bombs.
effect. Like Scott Pilgrim has a really great 8-bit video game. I'm sure Cameron knows this.
I've played
but
it.
It's so good.
It's
I
a
like
it's
the
a fun
intro.
time.
The
I
intro
love
was
me
always
a
good with the
game.
8-bit Universal theme.
Yeah.
So good. And I like how Bill Hader was, I think he was uncredited as the narrator.
Oh,
That was him?
He was like one. He's like the voice who's like
Scott
into
Pilgrim was
one.
dating a
Like,
high schooler.
Yeah. And he's like, it's been a while since I got a haircut. He did it himself. It was mutual. It was not. He dumped her. It was bad. Like no voice could bring the gravelness that Bill Hader's could.
he had a role in this year's Beau is Afraid, which
Don't tell me.
he's
Don't tell me.
not.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen that
He's
yet.
not
That
on
actually-
screen.
we got to watch that.
He's not on screen at all. He's just on a phone call, and he gives one of the he's not in the movie a lot, but it's just this phone call. But he gives such a great performance that it's really stuck with me.
Wow.
Wow.
I thought
Okay.
you were like gonna tell me that like he was doing his Bill Hader thing, but then I
No,
forgot.
it's like
Embarrassed.
it's
that, like, he has.
crazy.
God, that's amazing. Yeah, I can't
Very-
wait to see. The other night on the phone, James, I was talking to Dylan, and he saw Beau is Afraid, and I still haven't seen it. So I'm really glad you haven't seen
I
it.
ain't it. It looked really good.
We're gonna watch that.
Yeah,
But back to
good
Edgar Wright. Shit.
yeah, it looked good.
You know,
So every director we've kind of talked about has a trademark. Like with Steven Spielberg, it's got like a fantasy thing, and Wes Anderson's got the symmetrical look and everything. It was a nice vibe. What would you say is Edgar Wright's like icon to film? Okay, Colin.
I've got it like comedy with adrenaline.
Okay.
he has a knack for visual comedy as well as tightly edited smash zooms and just has a very high kinetic energy to how he makes things.
I agree. Both of those are absolutely correct. And the choice was kind of a mix of that and Collins, where it was like the quick pan, like the very quick whoosh pan is how I think he actively keeps scenes alive. Because if it's a cut, it kind of like breaks that connection. But when it's a quick like whoosh, like pan, it's almost keeping up with the intensity of the movie. And that's why I think like something like Baby Driver, where there are moments of like calm and he has like really calm like cuts, is good. But when it needs fast pace and emotion, like Baby Driver, the opening scene, first 10 minutes is just nothing but quick going and fast moving. I think all of those, hit a nail on the head perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next topic,
weirdly enough, Last Night in Soho, it really is a weird standout in his filmography. It's slower, it's more methodical. Like it's this is I this is gonna sound meaner than I want it to be, but like if I watched that movie, I would not have thought it was directed by Edgar Wright.
I don't think it really sounds mean. I mean, it kind of sounds like it's a different tone than than we're kind of used to.
Yeah, but it was very interesting to see him try something else.
That's not bad. I feel like when you're in the chair for so long, you don't want to kind of be
variety.
Yeah,
it still does
have a
some
little variety.
Great stuff with the camera. Like I said, the dance sequence is incredible. The stuff they do with mirrors is really rad.
And towards that end as well, when spoiler, wait, hold on, you haven't seen it, James. You haven't seen Last Night in Soho, right?
I have not. So
all right, I'm gonna be as vague as possible. So Cameron, like towards the end of the movie where it was, Anya Taylor-Joy's character walking up those stairs, but it's like that is my standout because the music is swelling and it's just that like that build up. And to add on to that point is, and that doesn't mean, because I feel like I mean everyone knows this, like Edgar Wright was trying to take a swing and he didn't miss, but he didn't hit it out of the park.
It was like a base hit.
Yeah. Like he still succeeded, and I do appreciate that because, I mean, I'm sure that like Edgar Wright, when he was coming up with that movie, he just wanted to do something different, and he wanted to do something like with a little bit with like horror and mystery. And I really have to rewatch it just so I know where my feelings stand on it. But I remember I really, really liked it. Like it was super good. Like it's not my favorite, and it's definitely on the lower end of my list, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. He's never made a bad movie.
Yeah. It sounded good. It looked like a good movie. And I know when I said directed by Edgar Wright, I was a bit shocked because it didn't feel, like Cameron said, like a natural Edgar Wright movie. But I think that's also just a good way to kind of branch out and try new things for this guy. He really is great. I think he's got a lot of good stuff coming. And Last Night in Soho may have been a mulligan, but whatever the case, I know he's going to keep going for a while. I'm just really curious about what he's going to do next.
We're going to watch it together.
Yeah. Next topic I don't want to talk about, a little sad. A little sad. Bad changes. Sorry, that was a horrible way to segue it. Charles,
bummer.
A little bit of a bummer. Charles Martinet, I think I'm saying that right, retires as Mario after 30 odd years of playing the character, which we all come to know and love. Will now not be leaving Nintendo though. He will be staying as a Mario ambassador, which I think is pretty good.
What does that
mean though? Yeah.
Okay, so from what I can kind of gather of ambassador titles is that he's a representative for the character, in that, I mean, he's played Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi. He did a little bit of Bowser voices. He's done everybody. I think when the new guy comes along, he can kind of help direct him in ways where it's like, okay, you're sounding like good, but you need to amp it up. Like he helps, I think, with directing the way the character's supposed to be feeling.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he could have done it much longer.
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell, but like...
Well, the new voice actor is in the new Mario game.
And
everyone's saying it sounds fine. I don't know what it's like. Mario Odyssey, right?
Mario
where he turns
Wonder.
into the giant Wonder, where he turns into the giant elephant.
Yeah, I'm excited. That looks fun.
Now,
it looks good.
I haven't played that many Nintendo Mario games. And
Fake fan.
guys, literally stop me if I sound like a hateful because I'm not trying to sound like one at all.
Just that kind, not like a regular one, but just a hateful one.
Basically, any time, like, don't think I am the way that I am in the Tu-Vie group chats. All I'm saying is there really that much to put into the voices of Mario? It's just random noises. They don't talk really.
I mean, like, kinda.
Like it's just such an iconic voice.
Yeah.
I think.
I know it's
not,
like but like
it's not like 6 words and then they repeat it. It's like phrases and grunts and.
But
the
are you
guy
are
who's
you
playing
listening to
Kermit
it?
now?
I don't
the
like
guy
that
who's
Kermit.
playing Kermit now is like you can feel it's just like a bit off. You can feel
It
like
does. Thank you. The new Kermit's whack. I like the Kermit that they had for the Muppets TV show, the one that was on ABC. That was a great Kermit.
You are that show's biggest fan.
I like that show. Me and many people that we know, Cameron, like that show. And I'm Muppets fans.
Haven't watched enough of it to have an opinion on it.
It's funny. If you guys, it's like a modern Muppets. If you haven't seen it, Colin, it's like they talk about relationships and getting wasted.
Yeah, Muppets.
Kinda. It's like 30 Rock, but Muppets.
I mean, it has a great premise. I only ever seen one episode, but I watched it by myself as a kid. I was one of those kids.
As a kid, you wouldn't have gotten it. I watched it last year, and it was hilarious.
Okay.
My parents liked it, and my parents don't give a crap about the Muppets. So
I don't think
Can't
anybody
imagine not caring about the Muppets.
It's
The
just
Muppets are
nostalgia.
alive.
sorry, what was that, Colin?
I said that like I don't think a lot of people really like care about the Muppets other than like nostalgia and childhood attachment.
Okay,
You know? Hold on, let me elaborate.
We both love the Muppets.
Let me elaborate. I love the Muppets, but like I don't really go to it for like my modern entertainment, other than
I can see what you mean.
just remembering what they stood for, which was this joyous like puppeteer modern Looney Tunes like
I
gags.
rode a bike in live action.
I know, and the world was haunted because of it.
That's impressive as hell.
Actually,
do you remember a conversation when we were at Hollywood Studios, Colin?
Yeah, I remember.
We were walking towards Galaxy's Edge, and in Hollywood Studios, the Muppet Vision thing is right before you hit the first entrance. And I go, hey, do you want to pop in and go check out Muppet 3D? And he was trying so hard to politely say no. He goes, don't really lie. Kind of.
It's
if there's
the best ride in Hollywood Studios.
We do anything else.
Yeah, because I wasn't trying to tell you I've already been there before.
Yeah, you eventually was like, I just don't want to. I just don't. Like he just gave up. I was like,
but like,
no problem.
I didn't want to say no, and I was like,
it was fine.
And then I said yes because I was like, maybe James actually wants to do this. Did we
actually go to? I thought we didn't go.
No, we went. We went together. We sat down.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Honestly, if nothing else, it's a great time just to sit down and like enjoy.
That's a great ride. Yeah, that's a good point. That ride is.
That's what a lot of adults were in there for, just to get away from the heat.
My dad sleeps through it every time.
I was
every single time. Like 10 minutes in, I turn to him. He's asleep.
Yeah. I think we lost Colin again. What'd you say, dude?
Oh, I said that I was the same way. I was really hammered, so I was kind of happy I got to sit down.
You were not hammered
in disguise because I didn't want to. Dude, you don't know how many beers I had, and like when
we were together all day.
Yeah, I mean, but like still, like I was drinking a lot.
I know, but I said whatever you having alcohol is what you're having in Gatorade or Powerade.
I guess you have a good point. I just remember I was really fatigued, and
I think because you were a little dehydrated from the heat and everything. So
yeah, it's Florida.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But either way, yeah, Charles, he's leaving. I mean, the new guy sounds fine. It was fine to be a Mario ambassador. Again, not 100% certain exactly what it is. I'm really grasping at straws to figure it out just by going off what other job ambassadors are. Moving on. What movie? Sorry, we talked about this a little bit, just to have you guys think about it. Now, here comes the question. I feel like we've all seen a lot of movies. I mean, that's the reason why we have this podcast. We've all seen movies that are fantastic, but we've also seen movies that are underappreciated, and some of them are not as bad as we maybe think. So, our question is, what movie do you guys think is underappreciated, but at the same time deserves a sequel? Because I've been thinking about this, and I saw this tweet. You want to go first, or
I mean, I already have my answer.
Go for it. I'll save mine for last.
I need to keep thinking.
Man of Steel 2.
Then I'll go next. What?
Man of Steel 2.
Man of Steel. You think Man of Steel is underappreciated and at the same time deserves a sequel?
Is that not what Batman versus Superman was? Isn't that a sequel?
Oh, Zod gone.
That's like Justice League movie.
Hold on. Time out. What just happened? Your whole thing.
We had this.
out.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. I thought you were like shocked. Okay.
No,
so
your answer was so bad. Your Wi-Fi just crapped out.
I know. So Batman versus Superman is not a Man of Steel sequel. It originally was supposed to be a Man of Steel sequel, and there were rumors that it was a Man of Steel sequel, but it was going to have Batman in it. And then it just became more of a Batman versus Superman movie. And then it became a commercial for the Justice League movie. Side note, Tu-Vie listeners, I've come around to I've come around. I don't think Batman versus Superman is a great
This is a callback to another episode that Colin's life was destroyed and Cameron is celebrating.
Yeah, I just came onto this podcast throwing punches.
Yeah. You guys remember when I like texted y'all like
it was at like 9 o'clock at night or something. It was like an obscure time for you to have a revelation.
James, you called me. You're like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Because he texted, he goes, guys, like, I think I came around, guys. Batman versus Superman, not a good movie. Like, the more I think about it, it's not good. And I'm like, this is not good. This is the first stage. This is the 13th reason. Like, I just couldn't. I had to call him, like, Colin, are you home? Are you okay? What are you doing? Like, this was unprompted. We didn't talk all day, and you just text us. I didn't know if you were genuinely okay.
I was thinking about it. Because, like, I was thinking about your weird obsession with Thor, Love, and Thunder. And I was like, why does he like that and people hate it, but he enjoys it? Why do I like Batman versus Superman, but people hate it? But for some reason, I like it, but I don't watch it. And I was like, is it just because there's just small breadcrumbs of goodness in that movie surrounded by schlock? Like, we can all agree. Like, anybody in their right mind can agree that Batman warehouse fight scene is the only incredible part about that movie. Like, we can all agree that seeing Batman whoop ass like that is immeasurable, you know? And I had to be honest with myself, and I'm like, listen, you can still like
self-reflection with it.
You can still like Zack Snyder as a visual director. As a visual director, that's all I will say.
Yeah,
but you can recognize that there's an issue with that movie, and some is probably an understatement. But I do think that Man of Steel did deserve a sequel. Yeah, Man of Steel, I will defend. It's a solid movie. I liked it.
Man of Steel is a truly good movie.
I've always wanted it.
That is a good movie.
And I know Cameron has some thoughts about that, and I'm okay with it. I can accept that. Listen, we all think that John.
Yeah, that we'll do a whole separate.
I think it is the best
episode
of his DC outings.
I'll take it. I don't care. We can agree on it.
Yeah, all right. I'll stand by that one, but we'll make that a whole other episode so Colin can mentally be prepared for this. I don't want to break him again.
There's no way we can film that episode without me later Tu-Vie announcing we're sad to announce that Colin has passed away.
No. Man.
Good news. Cameron's got a full-time position. It's
Cameron, you want to be the new face of Tu-Vie?
As I step down.
It's too much pressure. The movie I picked for underappreciated and needs a sequel is Treasure Planet.
You just won, James.
I need a second.
I
I hope the mic caught
Sweet.
that.
Yes. This is my sublime. Yes.
I think Treasure Planet is like the best Disney movies ever made, and it's just so like rad visually and aesthetically, and it has such an interesting world that I want to explore more of.
Disney,
But
stop making live action remakes. Get a second and third movie going now. Get Willem Dafoe back.
it was going to get a sequel, but so there's this guy. His name's Jeffrey Katzenberg. He's not smart. And he was in charge of the Disney animation department, and Treasure Planet was
Also,
John,
the same guy we talked about
Ron
with Tu-Vie
Clements and
made
John
that piece of
Musker.
crap.
We'll get there. Ron Clements and John Musker, they like Treasure Planet was their passion project. They worked on so many Disney movies just so that they could get the chance to make Treasure Planet. And then it comes out and it is marketed truly in the worst possible fashion. It is released in December with ads that are spoiling the twist. And guess what it released against?
Oh,
The first Harry Potter movie.
Ooh.
So it doesn't do well.
no.
And the sequel, which was going to have Willem Dafoe as the villain, gets
Which is
canceled.
stupid good.
Cool. That is really cool.
I actually have a bookmark on my computer that says The Art of Treasure Planet and the whole story of everything, the concept art. I look at it once a week.
Like it's such a beautiful movie, and I desperately miss Disney's 2D animation, and that was such a really great era where they were making like at least purely from a visual standpoint, the like once they introduced the deep canvas stuff with Tarzan, mixing like 3D elements but like making them still look handcrafted and painted. It's stunning work, and it is a shame we didn't get a sequel to Treasure Planet because it was just delightful.
It's stupid good. It's stupid good. The freaking opening with the book and Flint's speech and like on the nights when the ethereal. It's like oh, it's so, and then the music.
Spirit soar.
Dude, I have it. It's 12 years later. Is saved on my phone just so I can hear as I'm driving. Like it's so. And then the freaking Joseph Gordon-Levitt as James Pleiades Hawkins is so good.
I think it also like really intelligently retells the story of Treasure Island. It makes James a much more interesting character, makes the dynamic with Long John Silver like way more interesting and personal. Yeah, it just works.
It's so good. If you if for some reason, Tu-Vie listeners, you haven't seen this movie,
Ben's okay. The robot Ben.
Ben is great. It's Martin Short, my guy.
He's okay.
I guess I'm a Martin Short fan. But now, okay, I've thought about this forever. I'm not 100% there on casting. I know it's probably never going to happen. And I frankly don't think it's, I mean, as much as I said on the TikTok that I want to see it, I don't think it's truly needed, and I don't think it'll work. But let's say they make a live action Treasure Planet. Okay? Let's just say.
You already failed.
Okay, I get it. But what I'm saying is the cast, so Captain Amelia, played by Emma Thompson.
Yes.
Great as a character. Terrific voice. But I'm telling you, Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso would be the perfect Captain Amelia.
Which one is she?
Tell me what to do.
The cat lady, the captain.
No, I'm talking about from Ted Lasso.
Oh, she's Rebecca.
Was she the leader of the
owner?
The owner of the football.
The owner. Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking.
I'd let her tell me what to do. If she was a captain, I'd listen.
Dude, I would just be yes, captain. Dude,
I'm
gonna jump off and go.
That teammate who got his way into her heart, I'm like, what is your secret?
Oh, we're not gonna spoil who that is, by the way. For people who still haven't watched the show.
I'm not. I'm not.
Step on me.
Punch me in the face.
Punch me, I bleed. Spider-Man 2 reference, if anyone got it.
I did very perfect quote from that movie, Colin, as well as the whole movie when we were watching it in the hotel. For my pick on underappreciated movie that deserves a sequel,
Sorry about that,
probably
by the way.
someone. It's probably you guys are probably gonna hate me for this. Real Steel.
Actually, I get that. I 100% get that.
Real Steel. Now look, I was gonna say The Nice Guys, but everyone likes The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
It deserves a
But
sequel.
no one really talks about it though.
No one. I showed it to my girlfriend maybe a week ago. Loved it. Genuinely, like, loved it. And I think if people start talking about it more, they can make it. Now, I hope it happens with the same Shane Black. It was Shane Black, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hope it
Shane
comes
Black.
back so good. It's so good. But Real Steel, it's definitely got some flaws.
It's not great, but the world is interesting.
It's so
Yeah.
good. I would love to see, like, did you guys ever play the video game, the mobile game, or
I
the X?
did.
Which one, the mobile game or the
paid
Xbox
money
game?
for it.
You, dude, paid
I
so
paid
much for
for the
it.
X Fighters to play as Zeus and shit.
I beat that game so fast. I was just ringing through combinations.
I was pretty good at the online.
I only played the mobile game, and I also played when it was free for Xbox 360, Pacific Rim, the fighting game. Did you ever play that?
Pacific Rim fighting game?
Yes, you can
Yeah,
fight.
there's
You guys, you
Pacific
can either
Rim
play
fighting.
kaiju as kaiju, Jaeger, or Jaeger kaiju. Like it's
Dude, around the era of those movies coming out was the era of like fighting games. I think that's
Yeah.
when Injustice Gods Among Us like really
very
like
same.
the world.
Yeah, same
Like,
cloud.
I mean, Mortal Kombat was already like, a notorious, like, that was
Yeah,
like
they
the
were
god.
high end Street Fighters. Yeah, like Street
But
Fighters
like,
and Mortal Kombat.
If you had a movie coming out, like,
It was gonna get a fighting game.
luckily there was a fighting game. Yeah.
It's so good. I think Real Steel it was also a fighting game on Xbox 360. I knocked people out as either Midas or Adam. Favorite fighter from Real Steel? Go, Cameron.
God, I think they were called like Twin Cities. It was the ones with the two heads. I thought
Oh.
they were.
Yeah.
So is that yours? Is that yours, Colin?
Yeah.
No, Hugh Jackman.
No,
He was a fighter.
robot fighter.
Oh, robot fighter. Wolverine.
Oh God. Okay.
Silver Samurai from
Silver
the
Samurai.
Wolverine.
Silver Samurai. What was the guy, the purple one? He had the really cool, like,
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
yeah, it was the first one that Hugh Jackman got. No, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Colin, do you know it?
No, I don't. I
Dude,
don't.
dude, none of those names sucked, by the way. Those were such badass names.
I'm
Okay,
really
I
bad with
have
those
it.
names. I don't know
If
them.
you give up, I have it.
Can you give me a clue?
Uh,
Wait, hold on. I think it's hold on. Oh, no, hold on.
I want to know.
it has to do with
Katana? No, that's the
She's got my back.
So
I know,
excited.
sorry. I was remembering the joke Colin did earlier.
Right about not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims. She can cut you all in one half, just like
it's such a
mowing the
cool
lawn.
name. I know it's a good name.
If I say it, will you kill me?
Probably not. Go on.
Noisy boy.
Noisy boy.
That was my ex's nickname for me.
That's such a cool name.
Yeah,
Colin.
it was.
It's just it.
Look at that thing.
Yes,
So
I know. He
cool.
was purple. He got this. Oh, so good. By the way, timeout. Speaking of Pacific Rim, did you know that like the giant rigs and everything were practical sets?
Yeah. That's a
Huge.
great movie.
The movie's rad. It's by no means like
I
it's
got to
rad.
see that in the theater when I was 10, which is the best time to watch that movie. It's like
It's good.
being 10 and watching that, it was like a religious experience.
It was like listening to Freebird on the roller coaster at Rip Ride Rock'em.
Yeah, gosh. Oh man, that was
I think about that day daily. It was so good.
Me too.
Colin,
was.
I know. Look, Colin, I get it. I'm sorry, but you got to understand. Whenever we go to Universal and we ride a Rip Ride Rocket, I hope it's still on the list. We found the little secret code things for the number of Freebird. And for those listening, if you guys are on it right now for some reason waiting in line, Google it right now. Freebird Rip Ride Rocket number. It is like Cameron said, it's a transcending experience.
It's the perfect song to listen on that.
It's so good, Colin.
As soon as
If
that
you
guitar,
wanted to have a conversation with God, that's what you do.
You don't have a conversation. You
as soon
just
as that
read 'em.
guitar solo happens, as you go down that first hill, it's like I've ascended to a higher form of being.
I remember Micah and I were listening to Rainbow Connection the first go around, which we were dying laughing. We got off and you're like, I experienced a new level of being.
Yeah.
And we're like, what song did you pick? He goes, Freebird. We didn't take a second. We just got back in line.
We just got back in line.
It was so funny. And then you actually almost passed out because you guys were
Yeah, we rode it too many times.
It's a good ride. You still hate that 90-degree climb?
Oh, of course. Every time I get on it, I'm like, yeah. Every time I get in line, I'm like, yeah, this ride rules. Then as soon as I'm strapped in and we're going up the hill, I'm like, why? Why do I do this to myself?
We'd have Cameron sit in front of us so we could be like, man, this 90-degree climb sure is peak.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, shut up.
The entire time I'm going up, and again, sorry for you having that. I just go,
you hear him too.
just,
Until the music started, we heard him all the way through. It was so good. So yeah, we got Treasure Planet, Man of Steel, and a Real Steel, another Steel kind of thing. I think that's a good one. Before we actually wrap up, WGA updates, pretty big ones. So Bob Iger came out in the news again for saying
that silly guy.
For anybody who knows Tu-Vie, we love Bob Iger. He makes a lot of great decisions.
I think it's wild on what's happening here because it said he's personally offended with the WGA didn't agree to their last offer. The Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos, I think I'm saying that right, is reportedly worried that agreeing to the deal will set a precedent for writers and actors in other territories to ask for fair deals, which is basically saying we're worried they're gonna feel like humans again.
Yeah, that like I saw somebody on Twitter say about the Ted Sarandos thing, like they said, I would feel ashamed for writing a character this comically evil. Like I would think it's like too silly to have somebody be like, we can't give them a good deal because in that case, other people might get a good deal and get what they're owed.
I don't get it.
Like, oh my God.
Just say your grady and go home. Like, just
pay the people what they're worth.
And speaking of bringing that up, thank you, Cameron. They did release, this was a while ago, and I'm sure maybe we brought it up, but I got to bring it up again. Each company they did the math for all their annual costs, annual revenues, and the cost of the percentage of the revenues that they are explicitly asking each of these individual companies. So there's the top 8 companies for entertainment, which is Disney, Netflix, Warner Brothers, Paramount, NBC, Amazon, Sony, and Apple. Now we've all watched their stuff. We've all have seen a version of their content. And I'm just going to kind of beam through it. And I'm kind of maybe hoping you guys will latch onto this. So Cameron, get your Brita filter. Get it ready. Colin, get your swig.
Cranberry juice.
Nice. Like Hot Fuzz. Hey, look at that. You stick with the Hot Fuzz thing.
Let's do it.
All right. Was that on purpose, by the way, for the cinema showcase with cranberry juice?
Yeah.
Smart man. That's why I love you. All right. So the Disney company makes $72 million annually. The annual revenue is $82.7 billion, and the cost of revenue is 0.08. Actually, 0.0088. So less than 0.1%. A lot of these numbers don't reach a full 1%. The highest out of all the list goes to 0.206, which is the next Netflix, with an annual of $3.16 billion. Warner Brothers with $43.1 billion. Paramount $30.2 billion. Universal $121.4 billion. Amazon $514 billion. Sony $88.8 billion, and Apple $394.3 billion, which is a lot of money. And the annual cost for Apple was $17 million, Sony $24 million, Amazon $31 million, NBC 33, Paramount 43, Warner Brothers 45, Netflix 65, and Disney again 72. Those are the annual cost for those the stuff they work on. They're asking as lowest of 0.004%, which is to Apple. This is a total of like, I think they did an average of 0.18%.
Yeah. It's
of all those 8 companies, add them all up, divide them up is what I remember hearing is 0.18. And they're like, see, I don't know. It's like that Fred Armisen thing where it's like, I'm just a baby. I don't know.
How am I gonna buy another Tesla if we give you this?
I don't get it. Like Cameron said the last episode, of course our demographic is the studio executives. So pay your writers.
It's baffling because like David Zaslav gives himself bonuses in like $400 million a year.
And they like, just delayed one of the biggest movies I was hoping to have come out this year at least. Just to come out.
Like, I genuinely cannot even comprehend why someone would need that much money. Like, at that point, you're set. Like, what are you gonna do?
You can retire 5
Buy
times.
scratchers.
Your lineage is set. But you can't.
And they canceled Batgirl?
Yeah. You can't pay these writers a fraction of a percent of the profits. It's baffling.
Yeah. Why
would we? We have AI now. We can do whatever we want. Why do we care about like handmade beings like coming from the heart and soul when we can just have Terminator pump out another like Michael Bay Transformer script?
It's actually funny
that should be the next filmmaker we cover.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So what was that? AI? What do you mean don't say anything?
Cameron, repeat what you said.
Say it again.
I think the next director we cover should be Michael Bay. Like the next cinema showcase we should do is like Ambulance.
Well, you know what? Time. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it there, Cameron. I'm gonna leave it there.
He's an interesting director, if nothing else. I don't think he's good, but he's interesting.
He's something.
Like if we watch Pain or Gain for the pod,
hold on. This is gonna make sense in just a few minutes because oh boy, that's funny that you say that, Cameron. Okay, yeah, pay your writers, please. This it's just simple as that. One last thing before we wrap up. Arkham Asylum, the video game, turned 14 this week. So how do you guys feel about that? Because that's a long time.
Cameron, I'm gonna let you start because I've talked about the Arkham games forever with James, but I haven't really heard a lot from another person I know who they've had their own experiences with the Arkham games. So what's your relationship with Arkham Asylum?
So Arkham Asylum, basically my journey with gaming starts with like I got a Wii for Christmas and I played the Wii pretty
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games.
I think I had that.
I
had more medals than Michael Phelps when I was playing that game. Okay.
But like then I got into like the Lego games and I loved the Lego games. I still do.
Lego Batman, which was favorite Lego game of all time.
Lego Batman 2.
Lego Batman 2. If anyone says Lego Indiana Jones: The Adventures Continues, you're a liar.
I think honestly, and this is probably nostalgia, but I adored Lego Lord of the Rings, and I'm sad that it hasn't made the jump to PS4 because I haven't played it in forever. But
Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Lego Marvel Superheroes a lot. That was the first
Second one sucks. First one's great.
100%.
Second one's underrated.
Second one's weird.
Yeah, it's not. It's fine.
I like it.
But my mom was very protective of what I played and how I gamed. So like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were like the first 2 T-rated games that I ever really got into. And I just fell head over heels in love with them. Like they are probably my favorite singular piece of Batman media, like the whole trilogy that is, and like it was just so I don't count Origins.
It's good.
Whoa!
It's not made by Rocksteady. I don't count it.
I get it.
No,
it's not part of the trilogy.
Okay. Aside from that, can you at least admit that the story in that game is great? Like if Rocksteady got
don't remember it.
Oh my god,
Joker's black mask.
That mask reveal was so good. I rewatched that clip on YouTube so many times. It's such a great reveal.
I like it being set at Christmas. I like Troy Baker as the Joker.
Batman Arkham Origins is a Christmas movie, by the way.
That's about all I remember.
I was thinking of Shane Black, and I didn't want to say it. I wanted to let Cameron talk. I'm glad you said it.
We're gonna let that go. We're gonna let him go. Continue, Cameron.
But yeah, I loved Arkham Asylum, and then Arkham City is my favorite. I love Arkham City.
Yeah,
it's such a good one. I actually have that on my computer. I played that during COVID. I bought an emulator, and so good.
Yeah, Arkham City is like so fun. I will play it forever.
It's good.
I think it has the best Easter eggs in all of gaming history.
Oh, 100%.
The city or the Arkham trilogy?
Arkham City.
I remember finding Scarecrow's boat.
And
like and like trying to use the hacking thing to like
you go in first person.
Spot. Oh, it's terrifying. It's so terrifying.
Oh, have you
Wait, is that Arkham City or was that Arkham Asylum?
No, that was Arkham City. Yeah, no, when you're in Arkham City, like you're flying around in Gotham, but it's Arkham City. But like there's a boat that you go into, but like it gives you, there's no warning or anything or indication. Like, YouTubers came in, they found that like if you were to pull out your little device and you start hacking, you can unlock a secret door and you go into it, and there's these like plastic like cubes of like cockroaches and everything like that, and there's a clipboard, and it clearly is like it shows that Jonathan Crane signed off on it, and there's a guy in a chair, and you're in first person mode, and you're slowly going in, and you're seeing this guy conscious, and then you start screaming.
Yeah, it's freaky, and I think it was really smart because that like foreshadows Arkham Knight.
Yeah. Like I mean, Rocksteady definitely didn't know what they were going to do with Scarecrow, but they had left it open-ended just to give him an opportunity. Cameron, when you were playing Arkham City, did you ever explore during Protocol 10, and you saw like there were dead henchman bodies, but they were wearing Scarecrow outfits?
I did not see that. No.
Yeah, no, like if you explore a little bit while they're like helicopter shooting at like the buildings and everything, you can spot henchmen, like, and they're scattered all over Arkham City, and they're wearing Scarecrow like body suits, kind of like from Arkham Asylum, and like nobody, like there's really no explanation from it, but like they're there, and it's just, I think it's creepier that way.
Yeah. It is terrifying. Speaking of being creeped out, did anyone get creeped out in Arkham Asylum when you had to fight against Scarecrow and every time you died?
Oh, of course.
I had to play with the lights on sometimes.
The bit where it jukes you out into thinking that your entire save got deleted and you have to start over is one of the brilliant.
I turned off my Xbox. I was like, fuck.
See, that's why it's so good.
Like I turned off my it scared me because I was like, I didn't know video games can do this. Why are they doing this to me?
Was that the one where it starts glitching out a little bit?
Yeah.
And then it starts from the beginning, except Joker is driving the Batmobile and Batman's arrested.
Dude, that video game got away with so much rated M material. There was I think this was like the third time you entered the Scarecrow world. But like it's shortly after like Batman was entered in Arkham Asylum and Joker was taking him with all the other criminals. But like you literally see like a henchman dressed up as Batman, and he's eating a rat. You see him eating a rat, and
they really toe the line,
dude. And you had like Joker, and he has like this giant Bane like thing, and his ribs are sticking out of his skin.
It's so gross.
Gosh,
Not good.
happy 14th birthday, Batman Arkham Asylum. God, it deserved Game of the Year, and Arkham City deserved Game of the Year, and Arkham Knight.
Did they both get win? Did they both win Game of the Year?
Yeah, they both won Game of the Year.
Because I know Arkham City did. I don't remember if Arkham Asylum did.
Arkham Asylum had a Game of the Year edition.
Really?
Yeah, it did. That was a big thing with that. I remember clearly on GameStop, like you could buy the standard Arkham Asylum or Arkham Asylum Game of the Year.
And then what one Game of the Year? Oh, what Game of the Year 2015 when Arkham Knight came out was The Witcher 3. So
unfortunately, Witcher 3 deserved that.
Yeah, that way better. Now, night and day on comparison, but they're both really good. But I'm really glad that Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight got the Game of the Year because they're we all agree, fantastic games. Arkham Origin is fun. I like it. I like getting to take on really obscure villains that Batman doesn't really have other time to take care of in the other trilogy. But it's good.
I do have one nitpick that really bothers me about Origins, and I hate the glue grenade because we could have really used that in Arkham City. We didn't really need Mr. Freeze's grenade when Batman already had that level of technology.
Well, story, I think it's also kind of wild how Arkham Origins was announced because Kevin Conroy, actually Arkham Knight was announced because Kevin Conroy got the other game mixed up.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
I don't know if I told you guys this on the podcast. I was at that convention center.
What?
He's told me this.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so when Kevin Conroy accidentally announced the Batman Arkham Knight, I was at that panel, but my stepdad, he was ready to leave, and he took me out of that panel. Then the next day, I was subscribed to Batman Arkham videos, and I pulled up, and it was like Kevin Conroy announced his new Arkham Knight, and I opened the video, and it has the same exact layout, and there's like Adele is Comic-Con. They were like, I was like, I was there. No,
I would be so mad.
I was so mad. I would have been there to witness history.
So he was there for Spider-Man Turn Off in the Dark, and he could have saved that man. And he was there for Arkham Knight. You are there for all the big moments in history, man.
Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark?
I watched.
We talked about this on the podcast. He was actually
my grandparents took me to see that,
but he was not there when the guy died. He was not there when the guy died. He was just.
I don't think anybody died. I think somebody just got really hurt.
I thought he died.
No. I was kind of hoping Spider-Man would fall.
Wow, you made that happen, Colin. You wish that into being.
Well,
we don't know him.
He had a family. They knew
we
him.
Don't know that.
Okay. We all have collectively agreed though that if Spider-Man we all collectively agreed that if the actor, not the actor, but like the character for Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark is not in Beyond the Spider-Verse and like the straps and everything with flying around like that, we all have agreed in the Spider-Man episode that he'd be great to see. That
is such a great idea. Dude, that would be perfect if he comes in and tries swinging, but like one of his lines snaps and he falls.
No, that's so horrible. Okay. You got anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
I'm wrapped up. So that'll have to be the final rolling credits on episode 18. Next week, I actually do. I had a big night of random energy, so I have like 6 episodes ready to go that we just get to. Next week, we are talking about Michael Bay's filmography. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, Cameron, congratulations, man. Dude, you surprised us. That was our plan. I asked James, I was like, can we do Michael Bay like filmography?
So I had that ready to go because then next week I have another director after that week, which you guys will find out if you guys watch episode 20, that I really want to cover because I think expanding out to other directors are fantastic, and I really want to get to this guy's filmography based on something that's going on now. But we've had Michael Bay planned for a while. So I'm not kidding. When you said the Michael Bay thing, and I didn't hear and Colin told me to have you say it again, I was blown away. Not even for Cinema Showcase, just for the whole episode for the filmography.
Incredible. I'm gonna watch Pain and Gain and Ambulance this week.
Put the bunny down.
I actually didn't see Ambulance. That I gotta watch.
I
I've
heard
heard
it wasn't
it's
terrible.
Great. Yeah, I've heard it's great.
I'm excited to
Same
just
thing,
rewatch
different words.
13 Hours. Like that is one of the better Michael Bay movies.
13 Hours was not Michael Bay. No shot.
Yeah, it was directed by Michael Bay.
No fucking way.
No, it was.
No shot.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael
Wow.
Bay.
That is a very good movie. That I do really like that movie.
I really hate how Michael Bay is so inconsistent. It's either a hit or miss. He can make a really incredible movie or a really terrible waste of time.
It's like,
no matter what. Actually, we'll save this for next week.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right. You're right.
I think that's a great idea. That'll be rolling curtain. Thank you guys again for watching. You guys can check us out on YouTube at Tu-Vie Podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere else you get podcasts. We're there. We're also on Instagram and TikTok. Same thing, Tu-Vie Podcast. All of them are going to be in the description. But check us out there. Stay tuned for next week when we talk about Michael Bay's filmography, any updates to the WGA, and so much more. We all have kind of questions similar to what's going on the topic and also what's going on the rest of the week, so you never know really what's going to be happening. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.